he was knackered himself, to be honest. I think they underestimated me a little bit. And I don't, it is what it is.
The boxing world's gone mad. I mean, please.
It's the toughest fight in my life because I never did 12 rounds. Never. It's first because we prepare. I never even did 12 rounds sparring, brother. We prepare. We had like a requirement for 10 rounds. Last week when we arrived here, my coach said maybe. He said maybe, Mark. Remember? So maybe it's gonna be 12 rounds. Maybe. Okay, like inshallah, we'll see. And when I fight during a fight, okay, last round, my coach.
Dave Allen's robbery loss to Arslanbek Makhmudov ignites controversy and sympathy across boxing world. Dave Allen's post-fight reaction after losing to Arslanbek Makhmudov was raw, emotional, and to many completely justified. Some called it a tantrum. Others saw it for what it truly was, a cry for fairness. The veteran heavyweight, who's been through 34 fights without ever touching the canvas, walked out of the ring.
You know, every guy he's beat, 19 knockouts, and he's dropped Akam twice. He didn't drop me, so, I've never been down in.
Feeling robbed, and a large portion of the boxing world agrees with him. This wasn't just disappointment, it was disbelief. Under the bright arena lights, Allen fought back tears, his face etched with frustration as the final decision was read out. The crowd's roar wasn't pity, it was protest. Fans had seen the same fight he did, and they made their feelings clear.
But just weren't good enough. But the crowd in here tonight, I've never, ever, ever seen anything like it. I nearly cried when I had to really choke it all back a little bit on the ramp there. I'm not finished. I'm not finished.
How did you assess? Clear. This didn't feel like justice. Even promoter Eddie Hearn, usually careful with his words, couldn't hide his shock. They robbed him, he said ringside, not as a promoter defending his fighter, but as a witness to what he believed was a wrong verdict. Allen had emptied the tank, fought with grit and intelligence, and still walked away empty-handed. Fans knew it.
He gave it everything. You saw him at the end of the 12th, just out on over the ropes. And he should be proud of himself. And there's a big future ahead for Dave Allen. It won't be necessarily a big world level fight, but it's an opportunity still under contract with us. He'll be back. I'd love to see him, fight for British, Commonwealth, European titles. And I still think he's got a big future ahead.
Do you think that's an opportunity?
Experts felt it, and the broader boxing community was left asking the same question: how did the judges see that fight as a loss? Hearn later described it as a close fight, but close for whom? Many at ringside called it daylight robbery. Allen matched Makhmudov punch for punch, round after round, yet the scorecards told a completely different story. Once again, boxing's unpredictable nature left everyone wondering whether the better man truly got the nod.
Just my opinion, I've got no horse in the race. It's like there's no agenda for me. I'm just telling you what I saw and felt at ringside, which was a very close fight.
As reactions flooded in, voices from across the sport weighed in. Trainer Dave Coldwell praised Allen's composure under fire. Even when rocked, he stayed smart. His defense, his awareness, that's a seasoned fighter right there. To Coldwell, those moments of calm amid chaos were proof that Allen's maturity and ring IQ had evolved. That's what made the verdict so hard to swallow for boxing.
I thought he did so well after he got hurt, because wow, was he hurt. But he was very composed, very calm, watching the shots make.
Purists. Commentator Adam Smith also lauded Allen's tactical approach. He pointed out how Allen absorbed the early pressure, then built momentum in the later rounds, a strategy that nearly turned the tide. Many at ringside believed Makhmudov was in trouble by the closing stretch. Yet despite executing his game plan almost perfectly,
I thought Dave probably had the right tactics to sort of suck it up for the first 3 or 4 and then try and come on strong. There was one moment at the end of one of the rounds where you thought
Allen left with nothing but frustration and sympathy. The word robbery began echoing louder with every passing minute. Even Makhmudov himself couldn't hide his respect. His chin's not human, he admitted afterward. High praise from a fighter known for his knockout power.
I don't remember. Yeah, I remember a couple punch, left hook and right hook. He catch me. Yes, I remember. He's a good punch. He's best guy, good punch, but he's best chin. It's not normal, brother. It's not. I think it's not the human. There's a seven like a mixed animal. I feel like bam, like if I punch, for example, like some like metal, it's gonna be like a little crack.
How's your hand?
I think I broke a hand about his chin.
When the victor acknowledges his opponent's toughness, it reframes the entire narrative. Allen hadn't just survived, he had proven himself unbreakable. Adam Smith summed it up best. This wasn't just a loss, it was a performance that reignited respect for Dave Allen. He didn't crumble, he competed. The crowd sensed it too. Their cheers at the final bell weren't for triumph, but for defiance. For a man who fought with honesty and heart. Even in defeat, Allen earned something more valuable than a win: redemption. The energy inside that arena told a story that no scorecard could capture. Johnny Nelson, speaking with the calm authority of experience, offered a deeper perspective.
Tried all the way through, but you know, he'll rebuild and come back maybe for a British title challenge, but he dared to be great tonight. It was an unbelievable atmosphere, phenomenal, one of the best of the year. What a reception.
This isn't about one night, he said, it's about evolution. He reminded fans that Allen's journey has been one of transformation from journeyman to contender, from meme to meaningful fighter. Nelson noted that Allen's style may not be flashy, but it's honest, reliable, and built on grit. In a sport that often rewards explosive bursts over consistent hard work, fighters like Allen can be overlooked. But to those who understand boxing, his steady, disciplined approach is what keeps him relevant and dangerous. In Nelson's eyes, Allen deserves another shot, not as a novelty act or a gatekeeper, but as a legitimate contender in the British heavyweight division. Trainer Jamie Travis, who knows Allen's mentality better than most, agreed. This was never going to be an easy payday, he said. Makhmudov is a mountain, and Dave climbed it anyway. Travis's faith in his fighter was proven.
To Dave, probably 3 years ago, I thought, you should jack in. You're getting hit too often. It's great talking about it when you're doing a game. It's 5-10 years down the line, you think you should have walked out 3 or 4 fights before you did. If it's about the money, I get it. But he wants to, and he lives modestly with his family. But I think
it's about money, John, isn't it? It's about the money. But
you know what? Go down the British title route. Get that to say I've done that. That's in the records. I don't want to be in a record book saying Dave Allen, he was a tough fighter. Yeah. Be a former British champion. You know, because there's strong possibility that could come about. Dave will wear you down, he'll stick to you like glue, and he'll stay at one level, at one pace all the way through. And he's not got an up pace or a down pace. So if Makhmudov's heart is weak, Dave will do him through. But if his heart's strong and he still thinks he's got a little bit, you know, I think Dave comes off second place.
Do you?
Right. What fans saw wasn't a man surviving. It was a man competing at the highest level. Allen traded raw power for patience, strategy, and composure. Every exchange showed his growth. Every round proved he belonged. Even in defeat, Allen's stock soared. He fought the man others avoided, and walked away with something money can't buy: respect. Travis's post-fight reflections now sound prophetic. Even in losing, he looked reborn, and he did. Because on that night, amid controversy and chaos, Dave Allen reminded the world why boxing still belongs to the brave, and why sometimes, even when the judges disagree, the people know who really won. Dave Allen's robbery loss. A night that shook faith in boxing's judging.
It's a tough fight, very hard. It's the most difficult fight you could possibly have chosen out the opponents he was asked, or he was sent to. And it's difficult, but winnable, and one that we believe you'll see the best version of Dave Allen. And I believe that this is probably the best version of Dave Allen that's in his existence. Boxing.
Mackenzie was one of the first to address the elephant in the room, the judging. His calm tone only partially hid the frustration echoing throughout the boxing community. When fans complain, it's noise. But when professionals start questioning consistency, as Mackenzie put it, it stops being fan noise and starts becoming a credibility issue. His logic was simple, yet damning. One judge can misread a fight, it happens. But when all three seem to have watched a completely different contest from the rest of the arena, something feels wrong. For Dave Allen, the verdict stung deeply, because he had clearly controlled large portions of the bout. His composure, defense, and clever counterpunching were overshadowed by perception, by what the judges thought they saw rather than what unfolded in the ring. Boxing isn't just...
We're talking about the ringside judges
They don't make things up. You know, they allegedly got the best of the best to referee and to judge that fight. So 3 judges, one can't get it wrong. One could possibly get it wrong.
Physical. Mackenzie reminded everyone, it's political. Tonight's decision may stand on paper, but in the eyes of the public, Allen wasn't the man beaten. He was the man wronged. Talk Sport Boxing captured the night perfectly. Dave Allen may not have gotten his Cinderella ending, but he earned something greater: authenticity. That word summed it up. Allen transcended the result. From his self-deprecating humor to his unbreakable will, he embodied everything raw and real about British boxing: proud, gritty, and unfiltered. The cheers that filled the arena weren't for victory, they were for valor. Fans saluted a fighter who refused to quit, who took every shot, answered every jab, and refused to fade away. Even in defeat, Allen's stock rose higher than ever. It was a performance built on courage, honesty, and heart, the qualities that make fans fall in love with the
Allen is cemented himself tonight as more of a cult figure than he was when he began tonight. We wanted him to do the Cinderella Man story that we mentioned a few times on the broadcast. Yeah. Even in the last few seconds of that last round, we were up off our seats, wishing that this story, this narrative, this amazing story of Dave Allen is going to come true, that he's going to knock out one of the big hitters in the heavyweight division and propel himself into a giant stadium fight.
Sport in the first place. Sometimes legacy isn't built on belts, it's built on belief. Carl Frampton, always the sharp tactician, broke it down with precision. Allen's got the blueprint to beat Makhmudov, he said. This first fight wasn't failure, it was foundation. Frampton praised Allen's timing, counter-punching and conditioning against one of the division's most dangerous men. Surviving wasn't luck, it was skill. Allen's performance proved he has the tools. Now he just needs refinement. Those micro-adjustments, Frampton added, can turn bravery into brilliance. His tone carried confidence. He belongs here, he insisted. If Allen sharpens his range and tightens his accuracy, a rematch could rewrite history. Boxing, after all, loves redemption stories, and Allen's could become one of the sport's most inspiring. His journey is far from finished, not even close. Finally, Gareth A. Davies brought his signature mix of poetry and precision.
Dave's very cute, and he's a wily fighter. He's obviously very fit now too. Listening to Jamie Moore and Nigel Travis are telling me he's living the life and doing things right and training correctly. But he needs to get close at a point in the fight, and when he does, stay close. But after a few rounds, maybe not get drawn into a fight in the first 3-4 rounds, and then try and get close and make him have to work hard. But easier said than done.
Do you think Dave stops him?
I think so. I think Dave stops him late enough in the fight. I'm going to say around 9 or 10.
This wasn't about perfection, he said. It was about perseverance. Davies painted Allen as the people's champion, flawed, fearless, and fundamentally real. The slim margins that separated him from Makhmudov couldn't overshadow the emotional victory he achieved. Every punch carried the pride of the working class. From Doncaster to the national stage, Allen fought for recognition, for respect, for every fighter who's ever been overlooked. The applause at the final bell wasn't pity, it was pride. Davies summed it up best. He may not have won on paper, but he walked out a folk hero in gloves. When the final bell rang, the debate began. Some called it justice, most called it robbery, but everyone agreed on one thing: Dave Allen showed something special. He wasn't supposed to survive, let alone compete with a feared puncher like Makhmudov. Yet he did more than that. He stood tall, absorbed the punishment.
Dave Allen come up short because I don't think he had the technical capabilities that Makhmudov had.
As we said, it was a calculated risk, John. Sorry, it was a calculated risk. But we were to find out tonight, it would either be too much for him or him by 5. Dave's come over to ask us the result.
He gave it such a great effort.
And fired back with conviction. That's not just toughness, that's identity, the very essence of British boxing. If a rematch happens, the adjustments are already clear: sharper range, smarter timing, and the same granite chin. The blueprint is written, and make no mistake, Makhmudov knows it too. His own words of respect after the fight said it all. This was one of those nights where the better story beat the better scorecard. The only question left now isn't if Dave Allen can come back, it's how far he'll go when he does.